I was just talking to my buddies the other day, and I was telling them, my grandpa as well, but I was telling them that I'm going through like a little bit of an impasse right now where uh, we talked about this as well last time, but now it's like really hit me, and I'm just feeling unqualified to be posting. And I think losing sight of it, honestly, because I know that I originally started just to share with the world and like put up videos of my stuff and like, keep a little accountability for myself. And now I keep getting stuck in this echo chamber of like why should you be telling people how to do things? Why should you be giving advice on YouTube? And I don't know. I'm afraid, I guess. Like I
Yeah.
got stuck in a little bit of vanity, assuming that I have position and stuff like that. And I think I gotta step back a little bit and kind of reconfigure where I'm at right now. Um,
No.
but yeah, I don't post enough lifting stuff anymore, and I'm doing some pretty crazy things, and like 225 for 5 on bench is pretty insane. I mean,
Mhm.
4 or 5 months ago, I was doing 185 on 5 for bench, and that was like all I wanted to go. That was my tip top. And now with a 40-pound increase, I mean, I think my old max used to be 245. So I'm just currently able to do some pretty great things, but this weird mental state that I'm in right now just keeps diffusing all of it, and it makes me feel like I shouldn't be posting. And I don't know.
Yeah, I definitely know what you feel in regards to that because it's almost um oh no, it's like almost like a self-degrading nature where it's like just you, as you say, don't feel qualified, but it's like you feel like, I don't know. For me, I'd say like a little sense of inadequacy. Like I could just be a dunce posting this stuff, and kind of the criticism is what's always been kind of kept me at bay. But I mean, I would say clearly you're on the right track. You have something great going. I wouldn't worry about so much like with vanity stuff like that. I mean, I always have to balance out my own ego, pride, and vanity and everything. But I mean, looking at your results and the stuff that you posted, going from because you're originally about 250, was that right? Like going around high school years and going into that, right?
Yeah, a long time ago. My most recent high was like 236. So I would say that my real weight loss recently has been like 30 to 40 pounds,
Yeah.
but
And the
kind of
fact
close.
that Yeah, and the fact that you have that weight loss, and I mean, looking at your physique right now, it's you are on the right track. You have something that you're doing right, and of course, like not every workout or like diet plan stuff like that is gonna work for everybody, but it doesn't mean that it won't work for some people. So, like what we were talking about before, if the content is able to reach out, even just to that one person, that'll get them to finally get in the motion of working out, building themselves up, improving their mental health, then that's really where it counts. But yeah, I mean, I would say for sure your transformation, the motivation that's given me, no, it's you're great with it. You're fantastic. You have something great going for yourself.
Appreciate it, man. Josh said, "What?"
Mm.
Fuck, man. You're over here like helping me out. Well, I mean, I got a lot of support, but
Yeah.
it's those quiet hours alone that are the most deadly, you know. So I
Yeah.
appreciate it.
Yeah, you're welcome. Yeah, and those quiet hours, yeah, they're definitely brutal because I come across that a lot, especially after recording. And like, for example, the episode that I recorded with David Lane, um, that one we talked about like political stuff. We talked about like masks, the vaccine, or I don't. We didn't really talk about the vaccines, but we talked about like masks, individual liberty, and going through that process at the same time. I have the self-incriminating doubts like, oh god, what if people don't like it, what if I get criticism, stuff like that. And it just plays over and over and over and over in my head again, especially during those quiet times. And so I just kind of push through it. And I would say interesting thing that I put my mindset towards is and it's from the book that I actually read, The Mystic Path to Cosmic Power by Vernon Howard. This one right here. Um, I actually learned something very interesting in regards to that. And it kind of goes in canon with like depression, anxiety, and then like that right there. It's those quiet hours is typically the times where it is at its weakest and you're at your strongest, if that makes sense. So like for example, with the vanity, things like that, and you have those couple quiet hours and you're kind of struggling with that, you have you have the results and everything. You're more than capable of even doing more so and everything as well. But because that self doubt is trying to latch on and break you down. And so those few hours of quiet, that's when there's no distractions. There's like no obstacle in the way to show you how, I would say, needless those things are. Because typically, at least in my perspective and everything, when those self doubts, the depression, anxiety, things like that, when it starts to attack the most during those quiet hours, that's when it's at its most scared, at its most weakest, because there's not
So
going to
it's
be any
desperate.
distractions. Exactly. And
Yeah.
that desperation is weakness, and that gives you strength because in that moment, you can realize that, hmm, is it really freaking out this bad because it knows that I'm better than it? And yeah, if that makes sense at all.
No, yeah, and like I think we touched on this last time, but
Yeah.
it keys in with something that I've been thinking about a lot lately, and it's that stories and things that we see in media a lot are so easily related to because they're basically just a a metaphor of something that's going on for each of us, right? Like,
Mhm.
you watch a movie about war or battle and stuff, and you think, well, I'm fighting my own battles. And I feel like that's more and more, I guess, realistic to me as I go on because it really does feel like that sometimes. And it's
Mhm.
like every day is just another day that you're fighting an enemy. And in my case, my enemy is whatever anxiety, depression, and things. And I have only so many resources or so many men and so many forces that I can send that way to like fight that enemy. And sometimes it catches you off guard. It's got you ambushed, and sometimes it
Yeah.
comes out from the left when you're thinking it's going to come in from the right. And it really can be like battle, or at the very least some type of strategic plays throughout the day. So I feel like that book's probably keying in on a lot of that. And I should probably read it. Actually, it sounds like a good one.